friends, and welcome back to Cooking 100-Year-Old Recipes. Today we're stepping into the 1930s to explore what Christmas looked like during the Great Depression. I'll dive into a typical holiday menu, discuss how families stretched their resources with wartime gardens, and take a peek at the thoughtful customs and gifts that made the season special, even during tough times. So let's get cooking and take a walk down memory lane. Christmas dinner during the Depression wasn't as extravagant as we think of today, but families made it meaningful with what they had. Here's what might have been on the menu. A hearty starter of vegetable soup made with fresh produce from backyard gardens, also known as Depression gardens. Families grew staples like potatoes, carrots, and onions to supplement their diets and ensure they had something nourishing for special occasions. For the main course, roast chicken or meatloaf. Meat was often a luxury, so if a family raised chickens, roast chicken was the star of the table. If not, meatloaf stretched with breadcrumbs or oatmeal was a practical and satisfying alternative. Mashed potatoes with gravy would have been on the side. Potatoes were cheap, easy to grow, and versatile, making them a centerpiece of almost every holiday meal. Gravy would have been made from meat drippings, adding flavor without extra expense. Now from the garden, creamed cabbage or green beans. Vegetables from the garden were preserved or cooked fresh for the big day. Adding a cream sauce turned ordinary cabbage into a festive dish. Homemade bread or biscuits also likely would have been on the table. Flour, baking powder, and lard were pantry staples that allowed families to bake bread or biscuits, bringing a warm and comforting element to their meal. Pickled beets would have been a bright, shiny star on the table. Pickled or canned vegetables preserved during the summer added color and flavor to many winter meals. Preservation of vegetables grown in the home gardens was key. Families worked tirelessly in the summer to can fruits and vegetables so they'd have enough to last through the winter. And a jar of home-canned peaches, beets, or pickles on the Christmas table wasn't just food, it was a labor of love. For this Depression-era Christmas menu, I'm talking about one of the most beloved desserts of the time called wacky cake. Wacky cake is also known as crazy cake, and it was born out of necessity. During the 1930s, ingredients like eggs, butter, and milk were often too expensive or unavailable because of the rationing. Resourceful home cooks found a way to create a delicious dessert with just a few pantry staples. What's the secret? A little science and a lot of creativity. One of the best things about wacky cake is that you mix it right in the pan, no bowl needed. This saved on washing dishes, which was important for families conserving water and soap. Plus, kids loved helping make it. Watching the vinegar and baking soda fizz in the pan was like a little science experiment right before their eyes. For many homes, wacky cake wasn't just a dessert, it was a small piece of joy during tough times. Families made it for special occasions like Christmas or birthdays. Sometimes they'd sprinkle it with powdered sugar on top, or top it with a bit of homemade jam to make it extra festive. Every family seemed to have their own twist on the recipe. Some added leftover coffee instead of water to deepen the chocolate flavor. Others spiced it up with a pinch of cinnamon or nutmeg. No matter the variation, this cake became a cherished part of holiday traditions. Now, beyond the table, what types of decorations and traditions were enjoyed during this time? As for homemade decorations, keep in mind some families would have had, as we do today, hand-me-downs and heirlooms from years, even decades prior. But to supplement this, families often crafted their own Christmas decorations. Paper chains made from old magazines, popcorn garlands strung on thread, and ornaments crafted from scraps of fabric or tin were common sights on Depression-era trees. Now, for those who could not afford a traditional tree, a bare branch or a wooden frame adorned with handmade decorations served as a substitute. Churches and community centers became hubs of holiday activity. Caroling groups would go door to door spreading cheer, while church services and potluck dinners brought people together to celebrate. These gatherings often featured simple but heartfelt entertainment like children's plays or community sing-alongs. Knitted scarves, mittens, or socks were popular presents. These items were both practical and made with love. Children might receive a homemade doll stuffed with scraps of fabric, or a carved wooden toy might be made by a family member. Old clothing might be resewn into new dresses or quilts. Similarly, broken toys were repaired and given a second life. Magazines or books might be exchanged with inscriptions or hand-drawn illustrations added for a personal touch. Thanks for joining me in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical recipes and stories. Until next time, happy holidays, and if you are partaking, happy baking to you.